MacDonald, good evening. We're coming to you live here from Virginia Beach, Virginia for our 7:15 show here on Sunday night. Our live talk forum. Happy Easter to everybody. I know usually we wouldn't do it on a holiday, but we've been guided by God, love energy, higher knowing to do the show tonight here. So hopefully in a few minutes we'll get some people that'll pick up. And either way, we're going to go from here with everything. So it's 7:15. Tonight's show is live talk forum where you bring your questions to us and we help you, guided by God, higher knowing, love energy. Okay. So, I see you guys all coming on. Hey, thanks for coming. Happy holidays. Happy Easter. All right. Or happy whatever you celebrate from love. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to light me some sage and get my rings on. We're just getting our stuff together. This show, you bring your questions, you can ask anything and everything, and we're going to talk and discuss, and it's about higher knowing and learning from love energy and getting the answers for anything you need or would like to ask from love, right? And tonight we'll probably be discussing all about love energy or God in reference to Easter holiday and what Christ energy and love is truly about, okay? We're going to be discussing some of that, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about what has gone on, of course, as always, right, for great examples for us in our lives, because we were debating again not doing the show tonight because of personal stuff that went on, and I'm going to talk to you about that as well, because all of us have been through losing somebody or someone that we consider part of our family, such as our pets, right? Last night, many of you have seen Daisy on the show. She is our Basset Hound, has been our Basset Hound. She's one of our rescue dogs. She's just been amazing, and she has been battling what would be Earth World cancer in this reality, and she was supposed to kind of, but universe again tells me it's autoimmune disease or disorder, right? In Earth World, that's what they would call it, right? And universe tells me it's autoimmune disorder or disease, and really that truly is what all sickness is just symptoms of energy in here that is toxic that manifests out here. So the bottom line, it's complex with dogs. But last night, my Daisy passed away, and hopefully I won't cry because that's what love does in our emotional spaces. I'm still kind of up in the air and ungrounded from this. However, I'm being guided by higher knowing to talk to you guys about it because we all lose loved ones, and really it couldn't have been a better way for it to go down. So tonight or today, or a better holiday really, or a better time, right? On Christ Day, right? On a Sunday, right? And on a day that is all about God or all about love, right? And Sunday, Easter Sunday, right? No doubt, which is known as a Christ holiday in many religions, right? So that said, last night my Daisy passed away, and it had been a long time coming. I was actually told about 2 years ago, and I think we talked about that she was going to have to have surgery to remove these growths on her mouth, and I worked with God. Higher knowing said she was going to pass away, if she went through the surgery. They said it wasn't cancer, universe did, angels, because I'm always talking to God, and the doctor, whom I love, mind you, but I must always listen to my heart with God and talk to God so I know what's going on in my heart, right? So that's what I did, and as the doctor is talking to me, all my angels, all my guide, and God or love energy, all my guides, right, and my highest heart self, right, is telling me, they can't do the surgery for Daisy, and this is about 2 years ago, because Daisy doesn't want the surgery, and Daisy will cross over if she gets the surgery. That said, in that moment, I said to the doctor's trying to say she has cancer. I said, yeah, that's not what I'm feeling. I'm going to talk to God about it. And she honors me in my space, right? As a veterinarian and a doctor and a awesome healing person. God bless her, right? God bless her. Because this is the new world. Regardless of what titles you have, what doctor degrees you have, or whoever you are, we should work together from love and honor each other. And this is why I love this one veterinarian so much, right? And of course, the more as time evolves, more of us will be coming out of the woodwork in time. And you ask God for the best doctors for you, or the best people to work with, the best healers, the gifts, the tools that you need. So this doctor totally honors me, has done so with my dogs in the past. And all my dogs, as many of you know, are all rescues, right? And so in that moment, bringing us back to that conversation, I said, you know what? I'm going to talk to God. I'm not feeling the surgery. The doctor said she's got to have surgery. This cancer is going to grow all over her head. It's going to be like 6 months and she's going to be gone if you don't do the surgery. And I said, no, I'm not feeling the surgery. I said, God's telling me no, 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 no. I said, they're screaming into my ear. And I said, I honor you. I said, I respect you. But for now, I'm going to hold off and I'm going to talk to the universe about it. Here we are 2 years later. God has guided me to everything that Daisy has needed to have the greatest life. Everything from vitamins, minerals, herbs, supplements, cell salts, you name it, higher knowing, talking to God all the time about the health of my dog and working with God, as well as working with my doctor and associate healer who honors and respects and comes from love with me. If she cannot, then I cannot work with her, right? So this said, and she's just dynamite, right? And so this said, Daisy, not lost her battle, because I hate to say that really. Daisy was relieved of all that, all her suffering last night. So we had to come together with universe, and basically Daisy told me it was time for her to go. And it was a rough call. She wasn't feeling good. I knew it was coming days before, because this is what animals do. They talk to us in their energy. In all that they are, they tell you, just like I talk to God, just like you feel in your heart, you talk to God. However the answers come in from love, you know what they are. You feel them, right? So last night, Daisy told me it was time, and everybody in my family had known it was coming before this. And not only that, everybody in my family also knew, like prior to days before this, that this was going to happen. They had some kind of inclination that it was time for Daisy to go, right? So this said, last night, that's basically what happened. So there's a lot of tears that might come out today, and we've all been down these crossroads with our pets and anybody that we love in our families, right? Because I consider my pets part of my family, absolutely 110%. And when people say that pets can't communicate and pets don't have feelings, yes, they do. And pets are super connected to God, because Daisy, through this whole journey, has taught me so much, has taught us all so much about love. Incredible stuff, right? So little did I know that this was part of why I would be doing this show tonight, because apparently this is one of the things that we're supposed to talk about, the people that we love when these things happen, and pets that we love when these things happen and they cross over, right? Or it's time to say goodbye to them, right? And making those choices and those decisions. And these are really tough personal decisions to make, but if you think about it, it couldn't have happened better. Daisy told me what was going on. I felt it in my heart. I knew it days before. We were granted 2 whole entire years with her extra than what the doctor had originally said we were going to do, by talking to God, working with love, and always being guided by that in our hearts. And this fantastic doctor who's over here, who would work with me as well. And she's dynamite. That said, she honored me, right? Lets me do what I need to do for my best well-being and the best well-being of my pet, right? In this particular case. That said, these are tough decisions that we have to make, and so many things came together. So I'm going to talk to you tonight about this, and it's no accident that universe or God brought us to this day and last night, this evening on Easter Sunday, for Daisy's time to cross over, right? Because if you think about it, it's really pretty amazing. Daisy is going into a new life, a new time, right? A new beginning, right? And she is free, all right, of suffering in this reality, which is fantastic. In our people ways, we understand this a lot, right? But it's so far beyond that. And there's so many gifts and tools that we're going to talk about probably in this time frame, all right? But what I'm going to do now is I just want to share this with you and tell you how amazing, and universe knew this was coming, so they knew it before I knew it, right? I had a feeling it was coming, and I knew it back here. However, as it manifests, you don't know, like you really know, like when it's there, right? Truly. So that said, we're going to talk all about this tonight, and how we love our pets, and, just like me being all emotional, this just happened. We had to make a decision that was best for Daisy, guided by Daisy. And it's my job as Daisy's mom, or Daisy's guardian, right? Or part of Daisy's family, with my family, to do what is best for Daisy, right? To do what is best for Daisy from love and for all of us, from love, right? So as her person that adopted her, this is my really moral obligations as well as code of ethics in Saturn's Earth world, but coming from your heart overall, right? Got to do the right thing from love for your pet and for everybody and yourself. So everybody works together with God or love to get to those answers. And so these are the choices that are really rough and difficult in our lifetimes that we have to make with our pets. And every time I get a pet, there's infinite amounts of love, right? Amazing. Pets are so amazing. They have so many gifts, right? But every single time you do this, at some point, there's going to be a time where you have to say goodbye. And that's where these tears are coming from. I'm not really crying for Daisy, so to speak. I'm crying for myself because I'm going to miss those times with her, right? Excuse me a minute. I'm going to grab tissue. Could you pass me one, please? Sure. Thank you. So that's what happens. We cry for ourselves because we love so hard and so much, and we miss them in this reality, right? So this is all part of the human experience in the stuff that we're going through in this life. This is all part of that. So this is why tonight we're doing the show. A part of it is going to be all about this, right? So this said, I just wanted to share with you some of the stuff that we're going through right now, and it's raw energy, but it's super important because these are the most difficult decisions we have to make when we're all emotional with stuff, right? So these are our most important times to work with God, to talk to God. How do we address these things in this reality so that we do the right things for us? So today we're going to talk about that in our live talk forum because this is right on the money, has everything to do with love and our personal stuff and our families and how to handle stuff like this because so many people don't know. Anyways, I'm going to stop here on this. I'm going to take a moment to say hi to everybody who's come. Hi, Matt. Hi, Molly. Hi, Maddie. And Mom, thanks for coming. And Jennifer's here with us tonight. Rachel's away in Maryland, so it's kind of rough. I had to call Rachel in Maryland and tell her because I knew I was going to blow my eyes out here on the show because I just can't even yet. And it's going to take me time. And in my people space, I have to let myself grieve. We got to let ourselves grieve, right? So, and Sophia's here as my assistant today in Rachel's place. Sophia says hi, everybody. And Jennifer's here as always. So we're going to talk about this and how this goes down, how to make these decisions, and everything intertwined with this. Because the truth is, universe gifted me Daisy and gifted us Daisy for 2 more years, right? Based on me listening to in guidance, because it's not about keeping Daisy alive for me. It's about what Daisy wants and quality of life for her intertwined with what is best for us all from the highest knowing of love, right? Yeah, a lot of tears here tonight in our live studio space. So tough stuff. Okay, that said, we are going to just say hi to everybody here on the internet. Hi, everybody. Jennifer, if you could tell me who's here, because I can't really see. I can see some of you guys on there. Thank you for coming. Thanks for coming to the show. I'm sure it's going to be great. And thank you, God, for that for us, right? So can you tell me who's on tonight?
Yeah, we got Steve Giltz, Wendy Hall, Teresa Courtney Lloyd, Nikki Hopper, Deborah Neely. And many of them are saying they're so sorry for the loss.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Thank you so much. In our people space, it's pretty powerful stuff across the board, not just our people space. And we have to, we have to let ourselves feel. Thank you. Thank you guys for all these great wishes. And thank you. Thank you for loving us. Thanks.
And Steve said Daisy passed over on Passover.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Do you hear that? Yeah, that's cool stuff. Okay. That said, I'm going to bring myself back down to earth, put my rings on, and we're going to get going here with, I just want to tell you about, I'm sure you guys know you can about donations that you can donate to us. That's what the show is done on. You can send us a check or cash or money order to the shop and center here. It's the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. If you are feeling it, please definitely donate or share our stuff. Whatever you feel in your heart, always guided by higher knowing. People say to me, well, how much should I give? I said, ask God. Ask love what to give. Ask love how to do it. Ask love what to do. Always we do what we teach. All right. So this said, thank you for all your donations to everybody who donates. And these times, like what I just went through and I'm going through with Daisy, and our lives, these times are filled with challenges like this. And this is to bring us all to higher knowing of love, higher understanding, to change the planet, to be in our hearts. Because when stuff like this happens, what happens? We get more in our hearts, right? And it's just like war. It should be like that saying, I think, that Robert E. Lee says, it is good that war is so horrible so that it doesn't happen so often, right? May our understanding be acquired through love and the best experiences from love. And thank you, God, for that for us always with our lives and in these times, right? So that said, thank you again, everybody, for your great wishes. Oh, and I have one more thing on a happy note, because I don't want to be all morbid on Easter Sunday and Christ holiday, and I wanted to be morbid. I wanted to be happy in a celebration, because that's what we don't tend to do here too, is we don't celebrate lives, so I want everybody to be happy. Yes, I'm going to have some tears because I'm crying about Daisy, and it's going to take me some time, right? And I had to make some tough decisions, and my heart is hurting, right? But I want this to be a celebration of Daisy's life, because Daisy was fantastic, right? And this is really what we should be doing, is celebrating our lives and celebrating our life with Daisy, because Daisy lives in here, in me, in the portals of my soul, and in all that is God, always, all that is love energy, always, just like all of us. So when we lose somebody, they're always with us, whether it be our pets, our friends, our family, anybody, they're always with us from love, and we can always tap into them. This is why we have medium gifts. This is why we have dream gifts. This is why we have all of our God gifts. We can always talk and work with love, to talk to God, to get to them, to work with them, and we never really lose them. They're just transforming into a different dimension. Right? So this is all part of that Daisy stuff. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus here. Thanks God for me having it together emotionally in the healthiest, best way from love. And for us having the greatest show, the best time, everything great from love. But really, this should be a celebration. So I'd like the show to be a celebration of love about Daisy. And thank you, God, for that for us, because she was a great dog. And I'm going to share with her and you guys the gifts that they bring. And I'm sure many of you will have many stories to add to it. And I welcome that. And if you have any questions too about the health of your dog or when to put your dog down, please, by all means, because people a lot of times don't know. They don't know how to do what they should do or what to do. Like sometimes, you're going to let go, you're going to let God, and you're going to let your dog cross over in its sleep, or let nature take its course, right? You have to feel in your heart what is best, guided by higher knowing, what your pet would like, what your pet wants, always first and foremost, as their guardian, as the person who's going to do what's best for them, right? So tonight, again, celebration of life for Daisy, fantastic dog. And I want to take a few minutes on a happy note, right? Wendy Hall, I see you here. Thank you for coming. The other day, Wendy Hall came in and she bought some of her really cool boxes. I know so many of you guys already saw them, right? Or already saw at least one of them. But tonight I wanted to take a moment to share with you some of the other amazing boxes and honor Wendy and Wendy's gifts. And I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about these gifts because they have total amazing metaphysical gifts that Wendy channels into them, right? Just like everything I do, just like everything you guys do. We all have different magical gifts guided by higher knowing from lifetimes, right? And we channel that energy into this reality from our souls and in all that we are. So this said, I know that all of you, I'm just going to reach over here and pick these boxes up, these beautiful pieces of art that Wendy does. I'm going to put them here. And I know many of you remember this first one that we got, that Wendy gave me and gifted me, if you remember, right? So here are some of her boxes. Many of you have seen this before. Fantastic, right? Well, wait till you see this next one that she did. If I can get it open, it's been a little like sticky here. I think it's the paint drying, but this is the interior. These are fantastic for cards, any kind of like tarot cards, jewelry, oils, whatever you want to put in it. But this is one of Wendy's awesome boxes. These are all handmade, right? Fantastic work she does, right? And then yesterday, I'm going to save the what I call the guiding one that I'm going to really talk about, and the gift and the magic that's in it last here. Okay, Wendy has also done these other awesome smaller ones, which are super super fantastic, absolutely beautiful, right?
That is so cute. If
Isn't
you guys
it?
could see it in
yeah,
person.
And I'm going to pass it around. I think I'll pass, oh wait, not this one. I'm going to pass it around so you guys can pass it around to the audience too. And then I'm going to share it with you guys. That's the first one. Most of you might have seen that one. But this is another one of Wendy's awesome boxes. And don't worry, I'm not going to make it too much like QVC. We've talked about that before, right? And you know, I want to make this quick as possible, but in the best way for all from love. And Wendy too, because I want to honor Wendy, because Wendy's always honoring us, and she's just awesome. And she's one of our incredible people who comes from their hearts. Thank you, Wendy. So these are some of Wendy's boxes, okay, and they are for sale, of course. Wendy, this is Wendy's part of Wendy's art that she makes and creates. Fantastic stuff, fantastic. So you can see the top, right? And then there inside is this beautiful blue, right? So she channels these things, right? That's what art is. Art is creation. Art is God. God is creation, right? Okay, I have another one right here, another amazing box that Wendy did. As you can see, there's the front. I don't know if you can see it. Thanks, God. You can see the back. I'm going to open it up here, right? Up here it is. She's got beautiful pink colors. You can see the sparkles in there. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff, right? And as you all know, pink is about what? Self-love, right? So these boxes have massive messages in them that are fantastic channel from God. And each box is going to come with a higher knowing of love energy from the ones at our store and shop and center. If Wendy so chooses to do this in her business, which I feel like she will. However, we are going to share that wisdom with Wendy's stuff so that you can buy the stuff here as well as you can buy it through Wendy. I think she's on here tonight and you can speak with her. Doesn't matter to me how you get them. If you resonate with them, then they're for you. You feel it in your heart, right? But also, even if you buy it from Wendy, we'll gladly write you up a card and tell you what the channeled energy is. So, going to the fourth and final box, these things are amazing. This one Wendy bought, and she made this special for me, she's saying. Although I think everyone she makes it special for me. And so, I'm sure you guys, when you see this, you're going to be like, oh my God, right? Because what is it? If you can see.
It's a face.
It's what? It's the galaxy. Right? It's outer. Madeline goes, it's a phase, right? But you know what's amazing about that is, yeah, you're going to see so many different things within it, right? That's the messages of all that is God and creation, right? So yes, you could say that there's a face in it, but you know what I said to Wendy too? Is that there's a heart right in the center. There's a heart right there, so you guys can see the heart, right? See it? Yeah, but really you can see it too. Instantly I knew it was connecting to the galaxy, connecting to the stars, astrology. And these actual boxes help you, just like all messages, all things in Earth World, help you connect to God or love, right? And these gifts within you, they activate these things in your soul. That's the amazing thing about Earth World, is when we do things, it activates things in our soul and vice versa, so that we can open up these gifts, get different understanding, get the messages that we need when we don't get something or need to get something, or have different understanding and growth in and on and throughout our spiritual journey. So this box here is what I call a galaxy box. It's wicked cool shit, isn't it? It's amazing, right? So here's the back. The whole box is pretty much black, right, across the board. Wendy has to sign them, but she's working on that, right? And so I'm going to open it up. Inside is beautiful black as well, but with sparkles. You know Lynn loves sparkles, see? Oh, well, it's got some of them on there. I don't know if you can see them. These ones are a little different, but sparkles nonetheless, right? So, but when this box has awesome sparkles, right? So here you go. You can see all these sparkles in here, right? So this box basically is about me, right? Working with God or love and getting out of what? The box. Out of the box. Right? This is God telling me of being one with the universe, right? Through Wendy's gift, she's channeling this energy. This is about me being one with God, right? You're having all the doorways and open and gifts of all that is God and universe, right? Through astrology, through love energy, right? And this box is a message from Wendy, right? That activates, tells me the truth, helps and assists me in all these ways, right? Really cool shit. So Wendy channels this energy and was picking up on that, right? Cool stuff. Cool stuff, right? So this is about my soul, connecting with the stars, connecting with all that is God, getting out of the box in my belief systems. And Wendy bringing this box to me tells me, right, that I am opening these doorways to all that is God, and I'm in that space. Right? And this box helps and assists me and brings me those messages and gifts. It helps me tap into my astrology gifts, helps me tap into all that is the galaxy, the transits, the stars, everything that is God, that is love. And this is the gifts that it brings with us. So I'm going to pass this around, right? Thank you, Wendy, so much. Your work is so beautiful, so beautiful. And I'm so glad to be able to share it with everybody. But the cards that we will put with these boxes, just like everything in our shopping center, we, excuse me, we sell items, right? And we teach about those items, right? Just like we do here. We teach about the messages in them. We tell you what the gifts that they bring with them, not just practical earth world use, but if nobody ever tells us, we don't know, right? But that's part of the magic of what we do here. Just like with healing products, we'll give you gifts, tools, guidance from higher knowing so that you can do what's best for you with it and have an understanding that you can't get in earth world in the same way because it's from the stars, it's from God, it's from love, right? And this is all part of what we came in here to do, just like everybody out here. Your kinds of gifts, the stuff that you have with God, love, energy, your gifts that are personal to you. We all have these gifts. Depends on which ones you resonate in your heart and your soul's journey and what you want to bring out to the world. So this said, thank you, Wendy, for these boxes. You guys, thank you for letting me share them with you. And thank you, Wendy, for sharing them with the world. You do amazing work. There's healing them in them. There's just incredible stuff across the board in Wendy's work and in her heart. And art, you'll find that many artists, being an artist is the start of the spiritual journey because art is creation. Right? Art is creation. And if you think about it in like its most primitive form, it's like having a baby, right? Reproduction, right? That's creation. It's creation, right? Neat stuff. Neat stuff. Okay, so that said, right? Thank you, Wendy. So you can purchase the boxes through Wendy, even through Wendy. If all she has to do is send me a picture of the box, and universe will tell me what to say. But I'm sure Wendy can tell you as well, right? Say meaning get the guidance from higher knowing of what this item does for you, and we do this with all our stuff at our shop, as well as if you request it and you would like to know, you can ask. Some people want a card, some people don't. All good. It's all about what works for you so that you know the truth of all the gifts that something brings to you in earth world, okay? And in an alignment with all that is God. So that said, you can purchase them from Wendy, you can purchase them through us, whatever you feel, and just wanted to put it out there because this is what the new world is about, sharing and with each other what each one of us does to help and assist each other, right? It's all part of the new world, right? Okay, hold on one second. And now we're going to move into questions. I think Jennifer has some from last week. Hold on a second. Jennifer has some from last week, and then we're going to talk more probably about the Daisy stuff, provided I don't keep crying my eyes out and am able to talk about it. Right? Thank you, God, for that for me. Okay, so go ahead, Jen. Any questions from last week that we have?
Yep, so the first one is Lavette Hollingsworth.
Okay. Hi, Lavette, if you're here. Hi.
She says, last week for a few days, I had the deep desire to call my mom. Is there something that she needs to tell me?
And this was last week. Okay, space you were in last week is different from the space that you're in now. So my question is, I'm wondering if you called her or not. When you say my mom, does my mom have something to tell me? Let me just ask God, what's the God's honest truth? What is your mom's name if you're here and you know it? What's the God's honest truth for Lavette with her mom? I'm not really feeling like it's necessarily something that she should be telling you. What I'm feeling is it's connecting. It's connecting. These times are really, really tough times. It's about healing. It's about spending time. It's about wanting to have the best relationship with our family, with our mom, or whoever it is. So I feel this energy is your soul calling this in as well as her soul for your best growth and healing, understanding, and into the new world, and to make the time that you both do have together the best it can be, and capitalizing on this, because really our souls are reassessing everything that matters in this world in reference to love, because love in all forms is in all that it is, the purest form of love, and all that is love is really all that matters, love. So this is about you reconnecting with your family, with the people who are important for you, for healing, for growth, for higher elevation of our soul journey, our soul vibration, our soul's energy to higher knowing, along within ourselves and healing our hearts, as well as the changes that are coming on the planet. So this is about reconnecting, coming from love, honoring each other, new spaces of relationship. I'm going through what I feel like is a form of this with my family as well. So much has happened in these last 7-8 months, and it's been really, really tough times. However, I see clearly, hindsight, they always say, is 20/20. I can see clearly, and I can ask God. And once I'm past a lot of like my emotional stuff, right? I heal that. I work on that. I work with God. I talk to the universe all the time. And as I heal, more and more answers come in these complex avenues of things that go on. Just like when I said, I want to talk about Daisy, right? But if I get too emotional, I may not be able to talk about Daisy, right? Because I get all, oh my God, because I love her so much and it's so new. But yet I have to honor myself in my human space and feel those feelings. So all of this is all intertwined in the same energy and is part of what we're talking about here. As we heal, we see things differently. And in these times, I can look back and see why all these difficult things, such as losing Daisy, has happened, and all the gifts that Daisy has brought to us, as well as it has a calling for us to open our hearts, which is what I talked about in the beginning of the show, opens our hearts so that we are in a better love energy space and understanding and knowing of love with ourselves and for the new world and our destiny, and to change this world. And this is what the message is. And so there isn't just necessarily what is she trying to say to me in Earth World? It's or Earth World logical or in the box or traditional Earth World thinking. What is she trying to say? We think of things as literally, logically, right? But it's way beyond this, and it's multiple things. It's multiple time. It's multiple talking. It's multiple hearing, listening, understanding, and feeling and emotions. So that's what this is about for you, Livette, and your mom. And you're both calling it in. Okay? All right. Thanks. So that was from last week?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sophia's got the next one from Nikki.
Okay. Hi, Nikki. Is that Nikki Hopper?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Nikki. And thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your questions again. Thanks. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. She says that her cat, Mr. Snuggles, which is the gray one without the heart on his face, she says he always sleeps with them at night by either sleeping under the covers in the crook of their arms or on top of her. Recently, he has been sleeping against our heads on the pillow for a few weeks now. What's up with that?
Okay, he usually sleeps on the covers, but he's been sleeping by the head?
Yes.
By the head? All right. And normally he sleeps where?
He's either sleeping under the covers in the crook of their arms or on top of her.
I'm just getting a visual. Hold on a second. In the arms, underneath the covers.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's by the head, but he goes to different places, gravitates. Okay, there's a couple things there's actually a bunch of things that are going on with him, Nikki. Animals are super powerful healers. Okay, they take on energy for us and help to mutate and basically, in some ways, the best way to explain it in Earthworld words. Thank you, God, for that for me. And us, and the best understanding for this, God's honest truth, right? To understand this is animals are master healers. They love so much that they literally, their energies takes on this energy to help you guys heal you, right? And this is one of the reasons why you want to keep your animal's health in check, right? Just like Daisy coming down with, what we call cancer or the autoimmune, where these huge lumps and things are growing on her, right? When our pets do this, they're helping to process energy, all right, that is toxic to us, right? Because they're master healers and they do this automatically as part of their gifts from love, right? So your cat, by sleeping in different spaces, this is part of what it's doing in the areas that you need best healing for you in that moment is kind of like what is the name? Is it Mr. Snuggles?
Yes.
Mr. Snuggles is sleeping, and it's funny, he's snuggling up to you, right, Mr. Snuggles? So he's sleeping. This is part of those gifts that he brings to you. and to you and Nicholas, right? And this is about helping you guys heal, but keep it in check in terms of keep an eye on how it is affecting him, right? Any health issues, because what happens is they'll take on our stuff, right, to help, and people say, well, I don't want to do this to him, and that's not even what it's about. The best way that you can not do this to your pets is to work on your stuff, to heal you in here, so your pets are, you have the healthiest relationship as possible with your pets, so they don't take on your stuff. Just like being empathic, we take on other people's stuff, same kinds of things. When I do energy healing, right, and I lift stuff out of people or take stuff, energy from people, or we even clear with sage, right? We want to make sure when we're doing any kind of energy work within us, right, that we don't take on this energy, right? When I say that the clearing with sage, that helps us to release it, right? That's a way to release energy, okay? So, and through prayer, always ask God for the best gifts and tools in reference to this, to be free of doing that, right? And just, always talk to God, just like your health. We have to be advocates for our own best health, as well as our pets, our kids, our children, everybody that we love in our family, guided by higher knowing, but ourselves first. In other words, I'm not going to be responsible for everybody in my family. They must first be responsible for them, right? However, if I've taken on them as my pets or my children, and they're part of my family, and I want to look out for my spouse, then under this, basically, this code of family ethics and with love energy that is God, I'm going to look out for the people that I love, but in a positive, healthiest, best way, guided by higher knowing, right? And not at the expense of myself, all right? And, and as the guardian of my children or my family, as I watch out for them, as I would want my spouse to do for me from the healthiest space of love, right? Just like when my children tell me, they come in and they say they're worried about me. To give you an example, last night, Sophia came in and I was sitting there and I was talking to God, and Daisy had just told me that it was time for her to cross over. And Sophia comes in the door and she goes, Mom, she goes, what's wrong? And I said, nothing's wrong, Sophia. I said, I'm okay. I said, everything's going to be fine. And she said, Mom, what's wrong? I know something's wrong. And I said, you are amazing, Sophia. I can't get nothing past that Cancer moon, right? So Sophia knew, right? She knew what was going on. And she said to me, and I said to her, and she already knew. She's like, it's Daisy, So basically I said, it's time for Daisy to cross over. Daisy just told me. And so it's that inner knowing. So Sophia basically told me, what was going on, right? Let me have a second. All right, with my tea here. All right, so thank you, God, for bringing me back to this space now, please, of our best understanding with all of this and the energy. Right? So we sense energy, we feel energy. These are part of our gifts. And what happened with Sophia is part of that, right? These are our gifts. We know, we pick up energy, right? And so do our pets. They're super gifted. Just like Daisy tells me, not just metaphysically, right? Like I can hear her talk. I can feel her energy, right? And she tells me, the angels tell me as well. My guides tell me as well. I talk to God, the universe, love. What's going on here, God? Is it time? So that I'm sure of what's going on, right? So your cat, Nikki, is doing a variation of everything that we're talking about here, right? Same thing people do, right? Animals are super connected. There's a reason they call dog man's best friend, because our pets truly are our best friends. They're part of our family, right? And they have feelings, they have emotions, and they're super high in God because they truly understand love, believe it or not, far more than people do, in a totally different way, across the board. That's so much. It's everything that makes them so amazing. So that said, your pet is doing variations of this, and they do it on a subconscious soul level, as well as they can consciously interact with you. All right. So Mr. Snuggles is helping you guys to be well in some way, shape, or form, just like Daisy does when she transmutes energy for our family, right? And however way that comes out, that's part of this energy and what's happening here. But Daisy also has her own energy, her own issues, her own stuff in her soul. But this is the main core of what Mr. Snuggles is doing, and what happens most of the time, the majority of the time, and I'm going to say most of the time, meaning in Saturn's Earth world, this is like a traditional way that things work with pets, right? So there's exceptions to every rule, of course, and we all have our stuff from past lifetimes that is embedded in our cells and in our souls, but our pets are our greatest best friends and guardians, and they go through our lives, and they can come back over and over and over again, and usually do, right? Especially if we consciously work with God or love and we've healed our stuff, we can call them back in. But if nobody tells us, we don't know, right? So Mr. Snuggles is doing a form of this kind of stuff. He's taking on the energy. He's wanting to help you. And we know what's going on in your personal life with your guys' health, right? So he's helping you to assess that. Where it becomes a balance, pray on everything. Talk to God on everything. Is Mr. Snuggles okay? How do I keep him his best well? But don't get paranoid about it. If you get paranoid or start having fear, like fear mongering, right? Fear crazy in you, right? Ask God to clear it out. Ask God to heal it. Ask God to change it. Put the best way to be in place of this from love, and give you the best way to do everything from love. And thank you, God, for that for us. So that's what's going on with Mr. Snuggles. There are some issues with your health. This is no secret to you guys. There's issues with everybody in their health in these days. So Mr. Snuggles is helping you with that, just like Daisy did, right? With us, right? They'll take on our stuff. And a lot of times in our people spaces, we don't know, because we learn this way of Earth World. We don't understand everything that is God. That's all part of our learning to learn that, right? And even, when I say even me, right? As this person of God that I am, right? Yeah, I'm still a human being, and I'm constantly learning and growing, right? And it never stops unless I choose for it to stop. But even then, it's going to go, because it's the grand design of all that is God, that is love, right? And so if I sign on for this, however I go, kicking or screaming or consciously doing it or not, my soul is going to do this work, because my highest heart self runs the show. You see? So why kick and scream and fight it like a toddler having a tantrum? Why wouldn't you just want to work with God or love, right? And take that magic and make it work for you from love for you and all, right? That's where you're going to get your best, quickest, easiest results. So, it's kind of like, just like your own health, you got to monitor it. The world is going through major health crisis right now, major health crisis, okay, across the board. We all know this, right? We have to be our own best health advocates for ourselves and our pets, with everything that's going on with inoculations and, all that stuff, right? As well as the poisons in the world and the toxins and the crazy shit, that society is doing that's toxic, as well as stress levels, our own personal stress levels, our own personal stuff, and things to work on. So all of this plays a part in our health across the board. And so that's what's going on with you, Nikki. It's not, and it's also for guidelines for everybody here too, to get a better understanding of the magic and the gifts of our pets and what they do for us, what we do and pick and choose for each other, right? To help each other and from love, right? In both our personal lives and across the board out here, and understanding how things work, so this will give you a better understanding of how to address these things and what's going on, and we will get more in depth on our shows and with more questions as we go on through time with this. And thank you, God, for that for us. God's honest truth with it all from love, and the best ways, solutions, everything we need from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us, right? Okay, so there you go, Nikki. Does she have any other questions with that, Sophia, or in reference to that? Jen?
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay, so do we have another question from last week?
We have one more.
All right, one more from last week, guys. So get your questions ready.
From Tammy.
Tammy Rowan?
Yes.
Hi, Tammy. Thanks for coming.
She says, what I am is what I attract. Mm-hmm. I have been attracting men who are not emotionally available, and I'm wondering, how am I not emotionally available? And then she followed up with, I'm wondering if I'm in love with this last guy, Justin. I feel so connected and feel sick when I realize that he is not ready. I almost want to engulf him with me.
Okay. Tammy, my heart totally feels for you. Totally. And every single one of us has gone through these relationships. I have lots of clients and lots of people that I know in my life who, put everything into their relationship. And this has everything to do with putting our self-worth, right, into a partner, right, in some way, shape, or form, feeling like we're not enough, or we need some kind of love out here outside of us to fulfill us, right? And a lot of times what happens is these are twin flame, soulmate, and soulmate, twin flame, and a twin flame soulmate combo relationships, right? They're all divine relationships, right? So you have to take a look at why you're feeling that way, because this is designed from all relationships, and everything that is God is really designed from higher knowing, so that you can address issues in you, such as the second house in astrology, which is your self-worth, right? So you can address these things in you to be your healthiest you and be free of this. So when you get sick to your stomach about this, right, it's because you so want this person so badly from an unhealthy earth world belief system space, which is like both earth world conditioning as well as past life stuff that goes all within this, which all the answers, we could pull this apart literally through every aspect in your astrology chart, right? As well as we can just nail it with the astrology dice right here, right now, to clear it out as well, right? But what I'm feeling like is this is a twin flame relationship with you. I feel you've been through so many relationships over the course of the time that I've known you and we've worked together. And so this is kind of the next level, the next phase up for you personally for changing this in you and getting to this healing. You know what, last time I believe that we worked together, we asked God, we asked universe to heal. And we always do this in all our work. And even here on the shows, we're always asking God to heal us, to change this, to be free of this, create this, right? So we're always working with God to change these things. When you ask for the best partner for you, this is the kind of shit that happens. Thanks God for the best partner for me, one who's free of everything from the past that's toxic for me, right? One who's going to be the best partner for me, and I'm going to be the best partner for them from love in the purest form. Thank you, God, for that for us. The best relationship, the best way to be, the best of everything I need. And in order to get to those spaces, we must do the work in here, or we cannot literally have this partner from purest knowing of love, right? That is basically the equivalent of what our ideology, how do you say that word? Ideology, I think it is, of our idea, so to speak, of who we think our best partner is based on our old world belief systems, right? This is about healing this here, and the universe will bring you these partners, right, all through time, every partner you date until, as you work on your stuff, or with each partner, you'll find your deficits in some way, shape, or form that are a less than self-love space, second house in astrology, right? So it's about your worth, how you value you, right? And doing self-love work on your soul, because the spiritual journey is really about loving ourselves and dumping or being free of the stuff that stops that from happening. But you have to go through the process in Earth World. We all have to go through things in Earth World. That's all part of our gifts and tools and the magic here of Earth World dimension to bring us to higher knowing of God, and everything that is metaphysical works with that energy together from love, right? So that we can get to these spaces of our best partner for us, right? But more often than not, in Earth World spaces, this is the tradition, just like we talked about tradition meaning the way things work in Saturn's Earth world is that in order for you to get a partner that's the best, healthiest partner for you, it depends on multiple different things as a general rule. Who you came in to be, how you came in to live, the partner you came in to be with, the journey you have both decided on. Are you healing you? Are you on a high-end spiritual journey? Or did you come in just to, and when I say just to, it doesn't mean that it's a less than space. It means a lot of us just have to go through the process of being in toxic relationships in our lives, and we stay in those relationships for our lives, or it's a karmic agreement, but it's complex, right? But it's all part of the grand design of getting us to our best partners, whether it's in this lifetime we just do this, or we do that, or we do this, right? They're all different kinds of relationships, but usually when you get to this point, it's a high-end God space. You've come here for higher knowing. You've come here to heal yourself in the most darkest, deepest depths of all that is all this, especially in this time here being in Earth World, right? So this is the work that your soul has called in, right? Your soul calls in everything for you, and it's with its God connection and all that is God, that is love, right? So your soul runs the show. So your soul calls in every single challenging relationship that you have. Same thing with me. Mine does the same thing for me and for all of us. Lucky us, right? But it's designed that way so that we can get it here in our earth world physical reality, and we understand it in our hearts and our souls, and talk to God, so that we talk to God so we can change this, work with love so that we can change this. So, and it all happens because we've asked God for that dynamite partner, that best partner for us, the most fantastic dream person. And the first thing we got to get rid of is the idea of the fantastic dream person, because that's not even real. And as long as we all want the fantastic dream person, we can't get to the real person and the best real relationship, because we're stuck over here in this one that doesn't really exist. And so everything we create isn't going to be real, isn't going to be the real deal. It's basically like lying to yourself. I want this partner over here, and we've talked about this many times on our other shows, but this is for you, Tammy, personally, and it's for everybody here who might have missed it, or, in more in depth and in a different way, right? So that everybody can understand that everything in our lives and our relationships, our closest personal relationships and our most intimate ones, are really about healing ourselves, right? It doesn't mean they can't be wonderful, amazing things. Yes, and you can have both of these worlds, absolutely. The greatest you, the greatest partner, the greatest family life, but you cannot do it, right, in the healthiest, best way from love, and have this kind of thing, right? Amazing love energy, amazing love partner, greatest amazing life, without doing this work here. It just doesn't happen that way. And that's for all of us. So this new partner, all these things that you're feeling, is part of this twin flame relationship, right? Right now he wants to be with you, then he doesn't. Then he's going to go back, and then he's going to pull out. And this is going to go back and forth for a while. And at some point, I feel like you will come together. But right now he has to figure out what the hell he really wants. And this is part of the problem. But don't you have to figure out what you really want, what you really are looking for? And that's what you've been doing, right? But now you're down to like that most subtlest stuff in your soul that behooves us to address, because it seems like we can't move forward with this, right? But the grand design of you two meeting is for both of you to get to higher space of divine, or higher space of love within yourself, right? To go and so that you can create your best relationships, whether they're with each other, but or together, right? But this is what your soul has called in for you, and this is what this is. And all these symptoms, so to speak, that you're feeling, when I say symptoms, what I'm talking about is like, that madness where you meet somebody and you're maddened by them. That's like a twin flame thing. You're maddened by them and you have to be with them. And this is about attachments. This is about, putting everything you are into a relationship, all your self-worth, and why can't I have this? And woe is me, and I'm the victim. And where am I, not clear with what I want? And where am I? All these things that he is pushing out and showing to me. And how do I feel about myself because of this? Because this is how it's designed. But know this, the angels are all around you. You work with God all the time. You work with love all the time. And this energy always assists you, especially even more so when you work consciously with it. It just goes that much more harmonious, like when all your soul is in it versus just your subconscious soul, right? However, amazing things happen regardless from working with love energy that is God, because that's the grand design of God or love, and that's how things work, right? So this is all part of your next level, next step growth. So I feel this is going to go on. I feel like it started in the beginning. I feel like it started like in the last solstice. These things usually come in solstices. So if this was spring solstice, that would be winter solstice. I feel like he might cycle back around in summer solstice, but it might not be till the fall where you see him again, or where there'll be an opportunity for you guys to somehow be together or talk or go on a date, because he needs time to work out his own shit with this, and it behooves you to clear these things, heal these things, work on these things. Again, astrology comes in, right? Working on your chart, working on these aspects will help you to pinpoint these things with God, universe, love. All right. And I think we've talked about that. But all these gifts and tools that I'm talking to Tammy about here with all you guys, it's for all of us. Me too. It's for all of us in our relationships. When we can't find that partner or don't have that partner, why is that? Why is it that we have that? We have to sit down and say, well, are we too focused on our career, or are we having some issues internally that we don't love ourselves? God, what's the God's honest truth here? What's all the wisdom that I need with this, right? So ask and you shall receive, exactly what we teach. And that's what Christ energy is all about. Love energy, Christ energy is ask and you shall receive. Love. Christ was a love energy prophet, right? And that's what Christ is really about. Regardless of religions and everything that you celebrate, this is truth of God and love. That's what he did. He taught love. He taught love, right? At the highest levels, right? That's what we are doing. That's the Christ consciousness. The whole consciousness of that is that you're truly authentically in your heart. And this is what we come here to do and learn and be in everything that we are, whether it's in this dimension or whatever dimension you are in. In this particular dimension, this is what we call this energy. It is known as in Earth world societal ways of speaking. Okay. So that said, this is more of that wisdom designed by higher knowing of God to share with you here on Easter Sunday holiday. Regardless of what you celebrate, it's all about love, right? You connect with Christ, you are that Christ energy. It doesn't matter what religion you teach or your differences in things that you might, let's say, believe. All that truly matters is that you come from love, and your actions and all that you are guided by that in the purest form, authentically. Okay? All right. So, Tammy, there's your answers. There's some gifts and tools of wisdom of God, knowing and love. And that's why we have the show on tonight, guided by higher knowing, with all these wonderful gifts, all about love, all about universe, all about Christ, high-end Christ or love energy, right? Okay. And that said, because people don't really think about that in that way, right? They don't. Just like when I opened my shopping center, right? And God said to me, oh, the name of it's going to be the Institute for Christ Consciousness, right? And Christ Consciousness is high-end consciousness. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking Christ like religion, Christ like church, and not that that's bad. And but I got pissed off with my own shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't want to be a church. This is fucked up. I don't want to be a church. I'm like, why do I have to have that name? And then God said to me, stop, you ass. Basically, they said to me, stop. Right? And I'm like, okay. They're like, hear us out. And I said, okay. And they said, Christ energy, let us tell you something about Christ. Christ was a love energy prophet. That is what you are. Sorry about this background noise. It's my mother. My mother, man. She's tearing up the energy, right? But Christ, the universe said to me, God said to me, Christ was a love energy prophet. And then they said to me, that's what you are, Lynn. This is why the name of your space is this. And I was like, oh. I was like, I get it now, right? But this is all who you guys are, because we are the guys who have to understand love at the highest levels to change the stuff, the darkness that's going on here. Because if we don't understand this, we can't change any of this. Like Einstein says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a change. We cannot be like these people if we are this darkness, if we are going to change that darkness. And that includes in ourselves, and that's why we call in the darkness, right? Where do we change this darkness or this unwellness in us, right? We call in this to release it, to heal it, to be free of it, right? Out of our souls, right? And so when I say call in this darkness, I'm not talking about it from over here. I'm saying we pull this darkness out of our souls to clear it, to heal it, to change it, so we can elevate ourselves higher and a better knowing and understanding without this energy in us, which then makes us every day more in the basis of the God's honest truth and more authentic with every moment, every minute, everything that we are in all that we are. Right? So authenticity can't be faked, right? Like people say, oh, I am happy. I'm like, are you happy? And they're like, I am so happy. Lynn, I'm so happy, you know? And I'm like, okay, because they believe that they're happy. But what they're missing is there's a subconscious soul authenticity, right? From love, right? Where that's radiating out here that they're not happy. Right? Because the energy manifests in so many different ways. And this is all part and everything that we're talking about here, right? Let me just get more tea here. Okay. So this said, it should give you a better understanding of Christ energy, you know, what our souls do, the energy of our souls, right? And when we are not authentic in our hearts, right, it can manifest in our souls deep within on our subconscious stuff, right? And then we think we're being authentic, but somewhere in us, the energy is not in that space. And this is because we've acquired this energy, this processing from lifetimes, right? These lifetimes experiences, right? We've acquired this energy from all of this, and it's time for us to heal this energy in us, so it must come out, right? And this is all that, and so more often than not, it's subconscious in these times because it's the deepest, darkest stuff, and that's what we're not trying to get to, but the whole world is working on getting to that. It's guided by the stars and all the knowing that is God to release all this so we can get to these higher levels of consciousness with the waves of energy that's coming in. And we must do this work inside of us, right? That's what we came in here to do. And this is how it works, right? So we can have these subconscious energies in us and we think we're being authentic. Like the girl who said, oh, I'm happy. No, you're not really happy. I'm not really feeling that. Not truly. You may think you are here in Earth World, right? Because you're not in touch with here. In its deepest level of your heart space, right? Or you're lost within your soul and in your heart, right? And so this is the stuff that we must heal, clear, change, create ourselves to be different from love in the purest form with all of this energy, right? And by working with God or love. So that said, this has everything to do with Tammy stuff and everything on our program, of course, as well as the Easter holiday and Easter in itself. And that too is another thing that I want to address as well. The Easter holiday, because the reason I celebrate Easter, right, is, and all the holidays that I celebrate is because I grew up as, I think it was Roman Catholic, right? We grew up as Roman Catholic when we were younger, and those were the holidays that we celebrate and celebrated. And I've always celebrated those throughout my life. Why? Not necessarily because I am that religion. I've kind of morphed into really higher knowing of God and being a love energy being, and love energy is my religion, right? And this is also why I'm talking about this. So I don't mind or care really what holiday or what you celebrate, what religion, any of that. All that matters is that you are in your heart. And for this new world, that's what brings us together. Not that you're like me in this religion, or this is what you celebrate, or this or that or the other. Whatever it is that you do, you must come from love. And the Easter holiday for me growing up was all about love. And this is what I've been guided to share with you tonight in our show and in our time here, is that the Easter holiday and any and all holidays for me personally have been all about love, all about family, all about abundance, all about beautiful things, all about giving, all about being together, all about family, all about love. And my greatest, experiences having, especially Taurus in the fourth house, right? In my astrology, right? It's all about, being, family and being like, what is the word? Sentimental, right? Loving the holidays, right? This is a Taurus kind of energy, right? But this, the reason I'm telling you all this is because this is why I celebrate the holidays that I do. It's like you can adopt and do anything you want based in love, guided by higher knowing. And it doesn't matter the religion, and it is a way for me to honor Christ, but it's not necessarily in a religious way, right? It's in the way that they teach in different religions. It's all about honoring and coming from love and honoring and enjoying this time and celebrating love and celebrating my family and celebrating Christ energy, right? From love and higher knowing, and that Christ was a love energy prophet, right? So this is why I would celebrate, because I connect with this energy and I want to honor this energy and I want to be part of this energy. But it's not necessarily in the traditional religious earth world ways and beliefs, because those are not always the highest form and knowing and understanding of love in the purest form, right? Guided by saying that religion is about man. Do you see what I'm saying? Or a man-made institution. We talked about this on the Right Thing, I think on Wednesday, about government and marriage and how the churches used to be the government, right? So what I'm celebrating is really love. And it's not to say anyone's religion is bad. Whatever it is that you celebrate in the space of God that you're in your heart, right? But the reason I celebrate what I celebrate is because my memories of the holidays and what I've put together through time with love and God and my family is that these are some of the best times to come together, to be with each other, to give, to laugh, to have fun, to care about each other, to listen, to enjoy each other, right? And to come from love and honor, higher knowing, whatever that is. But that is love. Doesn't matter what religion you are. So this is main core of what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, because the truth of God is all religion, everything is about love. It doesn't matter all the idiosyncrasies or all the belief systems that you have in reference to love. What matters is that you are in your heart, and we can celebrate different holidays, but it's about coming from love. That's what this is. That's how I celebrate this and all holidays. So I don't mind or care or, have an issue with anything that you believe, as long as you come from love, right? And it's in the healthiest, best space from love, and you're happy in it, in your space of God that you're in, that's great and fantastic. As long as this works for you, I'm good, right? And as long as my stuff works for me, I'm good. It's where we come into, this has to be my way or your way or the highway, is where we have a problem, right? I can honor you. I can respect you. I can come from love with you no matter what you believe. Really, I can. Until it becomes that you're imposing your toxic or you're unwell on me, or you ask me a question or for guidance, and you open that doorway to higher knowing from love, or my perspective, so to speak, in a personal human earth world thing. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your religion, just like here, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your stuff, right, on a personal level in my life, unless you come to me and ask me for guidance, or you come to me and pay me for my time, or you want to do a session with me, or energy session, or counseling, right? Until you open that door and say, I would like your services, I'm not going to share my shit with you unless you ask for that, right? And this is truth of God. So when I go out into the world, I don't necessarily do this on a personal level to somebody or with somebody unless they what? Ask and you shall receive. But here on the show, I do, because this is what I'm being guided to by higher knowing, right? And in my classes and in our shop and center, because the second you open in my door and you come in, you have come into my house of God or house of love, right? And in that space, right, you are opening the door for wisdom. Now, I will wait till you ask if you want some assistance from God through me, or universe or love through me. I will wait till you ask. It is ask and you shall receive. That's why people say, why won't God help me? Well, they don't know to ask. They don't think about these things, right? But that's the truth. It is ask and you shall receive. And it is all about boundaries. Again, knowing what to say, when to say, how to say, when not to say, and what to do with everything in your life. All because you can doesn't mean you should. I can know some, like I said in the past, wild stuff about people all the time. Information comes in. But all because I can tell people doesn't mean I should, right? I've lost friends by telling them their husband was cheating on them when I was young, like in my 20s, right? I said, oh, your husband, he isn't really who you think he is. Oh, I love my husband. Fuck you, Lynn. I'm not talking to you. And then I didn't talk to them for years, right? Because they didn't want to talk to me, because I gave unsolicited advice, even though it was the truth, right? They weren't ready to hear it. So there I violated boundaries, even though, I'm saying, oh, I might want that for me. Does this person want that for them, right? All about boundaries. This is why it's so important to do what we teach it and talk to God and talk to love always, because the more we do this, the more we'll know more naturally about what to say, how to say, when not to say. And the more we do that, the more we're going to know it out here all the time in our human people space, right? So, and in our hearts. So all of this said, going back to the Christ holiday, this is really what this is about. It's about coming from love. This is why I celebrate it. It's because my personal family times were so wonderful in the experiences that I was brought up in, and this is what I have instilled in my family and my children, that holidays and everything is all about love. And this is why what really all holidays should be about is love, regardless of what you celebrate. And it behooves us always, from highest knowing of love, guided by universal law, right, to honor and respect each other, right? And the only time there should be any issues with that is when someone is not doing that, right? Trying to instill their beliefs outside of boundaries without soliciting advice, so to speak, right? And not honoring each other. I don't have to put my beliefs on you. It's one thing if you ask me for my stuff. It's a whole different ball game if I just start telling you what you need to do, right? So the same thing with holidays, religion, belief systems. We can live harmoniously if we are all in our hearts and come from love. And really, that's what all holidays, religious holidays are really about: coming from love, being in love, celebrating family. The things that mean the most to us are what? The people that we love, right? And love itself. right? Okay, that said, that's what we wanted to say, guided by highest knowing of love. If you have any questions about that, please ask, but that's what we wanted to share with you for the holiday. I know that we've done 3 questions. Is there any more from the past?
No, but Julia Brubaker just wanted to say thank you for speaking about that. Hang on, I'm having a technical difficulty.
Jen's having a little difficulty in her phone here.
She said, thank you for this. She said, this morning, Easter morning, I was thinking about how I do believe in Christ in the esoteric sense, but I can't adhere to one particular church because God loves everyone, and Christ in the highest sense embodies everyone and everything. And thanks for speaking about this.
Oh, God bless, and thank you, because it's important, right? Super important. You know, in our people spaces, especially in lower vibrational earth world, we have conflicts, right, within this, right? And when I say lower vibrational earth world, it just means in people space, earth world belief systems. It's part of the growing here and the learning and understanding with, all of our journeys, right? So thank you. And there's always a reason. Thank you for sharing that. It was Julia, right? Yeah, thank you, Julia, for sharing that, because it's super important, because we all get in our earth world spaces because we're balancing earth world and metaphysical, and more often than not, people don't know, right? People don't know, about how to handle these things. So this clearly is a big chunk of why, right? Tonight's guidance from universe with this, all that we're doing here. Okay, so thank you. I'm glad. Thanks. Okay, so who's next?
Sophie.
Any questions from today?
Yep, Sophia's got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Sophie.
Yep.
All right.
Sarah Sutra, she first said, good evening,
Hey, girl.
all, just joining in. And she says that she's feeling the veil is very thin at this time, and she's wondering if anyone else is experiencing this.
What's coming in, Sarah, uniquely, I do feel like other people are experiencing this. I feel like it depends on what vibration level you're at, how much work you're doing, but I also feel it depends on where you are in the universe, right? This is what's coming in, where you are as to the thinness of the veil, so to speak, because it has to do with collectively where pockets of high-end light are as they move and they change. So it has a lot to do with that as well. Everything is intertwined. So it makes sense that you would be feeling this. I'd like to know where you are. Because it's cool. It'd be cool if we could make a map, right? And go all over the world and pick these places. And again, we can ask God for these gifts and tools too. To see and kind of map the energy of the world where you feel like this is really thin and the veil is really thin and why you feel that way. But it has everything to do with the energy of the area you're in, right? So certain areas will have a denser energy and other ones will have a more of a light energy, or a lighter energy in different areas around the world, right? Depending on what's going on and what's happening. So when you say that, the answer would be, if you're feeling this, then this is true where you are for sure. But I do feel that all of us with the raising the vibration of the planet are feeling this for sure in some way, shape, or form. But different areas on the planet, based on what's going on in the collective, then brings that out in that way as well, where areas will be more thinner and you'll have more, let's say, metaphysical things happening because the people in certain areas, like if you pulled out, let's say, for all intensive purposes, using Sedona in Arizona, not saying that's super high vibing personally. I'm not going to get into that, but that's like a spiritual hub, right? For people, you would say that, well, the vibration there is very high and you will love Sedona and da-da-da-da, right? Same thing with Boston, like with the witches area, or Lilydale, New York, right? There's certain places that are known for certain energies, right? So there'll be congregations, or when I say congregation, I think of areas or groups of people in that energy, basically, whether they're together and realize it, like we know that everybody says, oh, go to Sedona and the energy there is great and it's this vibe and our higher vibing, or same thing with Lilydale, they'll say stuff about that, or other areas in the country and in the world, just like India, there's places in India and in China and in Russia, right, all over the world, right? There's all these different places where different energies kind of manifest, that you could say, well, this is a spiritual known hub here in Earth world, right? But that's basically what's happening, whether it's not recognized consciously in Earth world as a spiritual known hub. The energy is still there, right? And you would feel it as being thinner or more. Your gifts will be activated or opening up in this space. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is what universe is telling me to share with you. So yes, you are right. This is happening. Other people are definitely feeling it. There's no question about it. Again, it's based in multiple things. Your space of God that you are in, the journey that you've come here to do, what's happening in the collective and in Earth world, as well as whether you're consciously aware of this and doing this work as well, right? But you'll notice, maybe a whole bunch of your friends will have similar experiences in terms of metaphysical experiences, or it will be happening more often, or you'll be around people that have that same stuff going on. And that tells you what is going on. And so you can understand it better and with the greatest clarity. You ask God, ask love. But this is all of what's going on here with this, to let you know. Okay? And thanks. What?
She added that she lives in Flintstone, Maryland, or she is in Flintstone, Maryland.
Interesting. You know what's funny is when I first, a while back, universe told me, and this is wild, right? It makes sense because Maryland and DC area, right, is like the heart of the country. It was like where the country established its hub and where it is born, right? So it would make sense that the hub of where freedom is, Maryland, Virginia, and the surrounding states around that are going to be like the heart of the country. So where the heart of the country is, right, you're going to be feeling, for the most part, higher end love energy, because love energy in the higher end is all about freedom, which is what the country is about. So like the life force energy of passion is really in your heart, which is supposed to be in the healthy space of God in politics, right? But we know these systems are falling apart. So there is an overlaying darkness within that, absolutely. But the core of that energy is established in that place from the beginning of the time of this country, right? And the idea of freedom is all in that energy and in the heart space. It's like the heart space of America. That's what universe shows me and tells me and guides me to tell you. So it makes sense that in Maryland, where you are, right? And it could be further out in Maryland, but you're still, it's this whole area kind of thing. Let me just see what else gone. Yeah, and that's to let everybody know. And it doesn't mean that the rest of the country is in a more toxic space. This is just what universe has guided me to share with everybody. And they told me this years ago. But now there's like an overlaying darkness. But there are also many other spiritual places, both in nature and in different areas throughout the country, right? A main core spiritual awesomeness is all throughout nature, right? There are different places as well, but this is something that makes sense, and that they're guiding me to tell you, makes sense in terms of what you're saying that goes with what universe has told me to share with you guys, so you can understand why the East Coast, right, was really where the birth of this country, right, traditionally in the freedom America, the whole thing that stands for America, the idea of this in conscious earth world, without getting into, the indigenous people who were here. It's this idea of what this country stands for was birthed in that, with the freedom, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about all the other bullshit. And we're saying the heart of the country is based in love and freedom, right? Love is the ultimate freedom, right? But it's not a dig on anything else. You're saying indigenous people are less than, or any ethnicities is not having anything to do with that. It is just that energy of the country is this. And in this way, this is what's going on. So it makes sense that you would feel this, and it goes with this energy, right, of being in your heart. So then the veil naturally would be thinner, because it's about passion, it's about freedom, right? What people say to me all the time, Lynn, you've gotten so political, and I can't even follow you spiritually anymore. This is in the past, when like COVID-19 and shit started, and we went through this whole phase. And one of my biggest things is, and I even have it on my Facebook page, love is freedom. Fuck. I'm like, why can't you people get that? That's what love is all about, the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want, not without rules, right? Or when I say rules, it's not without higher knowing of God or being responsible for your stuff. It's just in a totally different way. But the truth is, right, love doesn't tell you what to do. It gives you the reins to the horse, and it says, ride, live, Do your dreams, right? But when you do, and you pick and you choose everything in your life that you do, come from your heart, so it will be the greatest for you, always from love, because that's what love does. It gives you the freedom to dream, the freedom to live, the freedom to have abundance, right? And people will say, well, this person has so much money and this one doesn't, and there's a problem with that. That's not what we're talking about here. If you have and work with love, there won't be, and know how things truly work, which is why we're doing the show, the whole deficit that you have over here in your less than abundant space and toxic belief system, all of this will go away, right? And you won't be forced to try to make other people do what you want them to do so that they can make restitution or try to control people. That's not what love does, right? Love comes from love, and then it shares its wisdom, its gifts, its tools from higher knowing, and then poorness and destitute and all this crazy toxic shit doesn't happen. Unwellness doesn't happen in society anymore, because if we all learn and come and work with love, then we have a whole different world, right? That's what I'm talking about. Love energy is freedom in the purest form of it, right? Because there isn't a damn one of you that doesn't want the greatest thing for yourself, your kids, your children, anyone or anything that you love. Is there? Is there one of you guys that wants some kind of shit for your kid or for the people or things that you love? No, there isn't. Because love doesn't do that. Love wants great things for itself. Love wants great things for everybody, right? Because that's how love works. So when anybody starts to tell you that you need to do this and this can't happen because that's not how it works, and if we have this in society and that in society and this isn't working and that system's not working and that's not how you do it, Lynn, and we have a solution. No, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Bill Gates, the elitists have no idea what they're talking about. Unless they go to here, they can't get to this space, because this space is the space that governs everything and brings us all the solutions so that none of this toxic that's happening in the world happens. So this is what the kind of love that I'm talking about, the birthplace of the idea of the energy of freedom, is there. That's what that is. But it is all always in all of us at all times, right? In the indigenous people in this country and in all people, right? From whatever culture, country they are in. It is in their hearts. Yep. And that's the very thing that I'm talking about. So the heart of America is in D.C., not in the politics, not in the government, but in the whole idea and where it was birthed consciously, put into earth world words through the ideas of that. Now, I'm not saying that the Constitution and everything is all where it needs to be from highest knowing of love, but it is this energy that is this that I'm talking about, this love energy in the highest form, and that's freedom. And when you have that space, right, it radiates, and it so the veil would be thinner in this energy. Okay? All right. So I hope you all guys got that. Did you guys all understand that out here?
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, it is really neat. It is really neat. God is fucking super neat. And this is why I love what we do, because I'm just like constantly fascinated. And you guys are too, or you wouldn't even be here, right? Because this is who we are. We're in love with love, for Christ's sake. That's what we do. We love love. We love to be love. We love to do love, you know, because what else feels better? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Right? Okay, so who's next, question-wise?
I was wondering if anybody in the audience has a question.
Ooh, Jennifer's chilling, finding out if the audience has questions.
Yeah, Molly?
Anything from Molly in the back?
No, I mean, I never turned down a fiver, but honestly, I don't really have anything.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's all right, cool. All right.
She's a girl after my own heart.
Yeah, and I feel like we talked earlier, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like, you know, there's anything based in that. You know, I mean, I could tell you, you know, stuff about that, but it's really what we already talked about and know, you know, from your time today. I feel like right now the holiday has to go by and things have to settle down. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and as soon as that happens, then things will start to get rolling, and you'll know, and I'll know, and more information will flow in.
Thanks, Lynn.
And I could ask and grill it, but, you know, I don't really feel like that. I feel like we've done it today. You know what I mean?
Thank you. That helped me.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah. It's about basically Saturn, Father Time. right? Father time. It's kind of like, just like with Daisy and the stuff that we've gone through, right? With I feel losing Daisy, right, in my personal people space, right? With Daisy crossing over, right? Just like all grief and all sadness, in time, this too shall pass, because time heals all, right? They say, well, what is time, right? But time is basically going through it, having your grieving moments, pulling yourself together, grieving in the healthiest, best way. And it's normal human behavior and process. So times like in the beginning of the show, I was a mess. I will cry, I will feel stuff, and then I prayed. I said, God, let me get my shit together here. I can't sit here and cry for the whole hour and a half. You guys are be like, yeah, we'll talk to you later, Lynn. You need to have your moment over here, right? But that said, everything in time. And that's what you need for relationships. Is where your healing comes from, for your body and physical earth world, as well as metaphysically with your stuff. You just need time to heal. So that's what's coming in, Molly. So let this time go on. And I need time to heal with this, as does my family. And that said, who else? Anybody else have any questions? What about you, Mad? Do you have anything today?
No, I guess. Does anything come in for me?
Oh, your friend Jorge, I don't even know if that's his name, right? I'm just teasing, right? Seriously, I'm going to use that name for him right now because we don't want to put his name out here, right? Your friend, who's a colleague of yours at work, right? And we've talked about him, right? What comes in with this is that his energy is shifted. What? You don't want to talk about this? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I feel you go, It's something simple. It's just that his energy is shifted, and now he's like trying to play a different way or a different role, like by removing himself from it in some way. Do you feel that?
I don't know.
All right. So, well, and remember, you're emotionally involved in it, so give it some time. It's just every day he's trying to find some new approach. It doesn't mean that this might last or not, but it might, where he's just removing himself because he doesn't know what to do with you. Because this is really a twin flame thing, and both of you are in it, whether you want to be in it or not, you're in that energy, and this is the shit. Like every day you come home and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling it today, Mom. And then one day, then you might be feeling it a little bit more, or you see him reacting differently. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is all part of that energy. So you asked for a little read. This is what they're telling me for you. Does that make sense? Without getting too personal, because I know you don't like your personal stuff in there. That's that Pisces moon stuff. Pisces and Cancer, they're like, don't look at me. They're like, I'm gonna hide, right? Hide my shit. So do you have any questions about that?
No, thank you, honey.
Yeah, do you want to know anything? You don't want to know anything else, or are you good with that? That was a lot, huh?
Yeah, if you want to tell me more, or there's something else you have to tell me.
Well, I think this is going to go on for a while. I think 3 to 4 months of game playing. Like, I see you, hi. I don't see you. I pretend you're there. I pretend you're not. I'm in love with my girlfriend right now, or I'm not in love with my girlfriend. And it's just variations of this crazy nonsense twin flame stuff. And this is for Tammy too, right? It's this kind of energy, It's this game stuff, and this is part of the process to get through this stuff, to release this stuff, to heal this stuff in our twin flames and our relationships. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let me just ask what time it is.
It is 8:41.
Okay. We're going to go to about 8:45. Do we have other people on the internet that have questions, or are we good for tonight?
No, it looks like we're good for tonight. Sarah Sutra said that what you said was beautiful, and thank you so much.
Oh, God bless you all. And I know there's lots more to talk about with Daisy. I feel like we went into the other avenues because we needed to for tonight. I feel like I need more time to heal and get my emotions, when I say not my emotional shit together, but you could say that, to heal and to let myself have time with this. Because again, this just happened at like 2 a.m. last night. It was one of those things. And it was rough. So I need to give my human space and my soul time to do this. So I'm sure, and I'm going to ask God that I continue with talking about Daisy and pets and crossing over and doing the right thing and the whole story as soon as it is best for us to share with you the whole complex story of what happened. Thank you all for your prayers and well wishes and understanding with everything. I'm super grateful. So we'll be talking about that in the future because it's super important, guidance and gifts from love. And really, I'm so grateful to God for all you guys and for my life and all these great things and for Daisy and the time that I spent with her, because it is those times that we carry in our hearts forever. All right. And that's what's so cool. So when you think that somebody leaves you, and I tell my children that, and everybody who I do medium work with and this work with, is that we think they leave us, but they're with us forever in our hearts. What we lose is the happening or the having them in this reality, in this moment in time, and that in Earth World, which is a super magic within itself, and that is what we're grieving about and grieving for, right? So that's the hard part right there. But the truth is, Daisy is already all around us. It's going to take 2 or 3, usually it takes about 4 days for her soul to cross over, and she'll come and go, but you'll, usually what happens with me is I feel it. And it's just like a vacuum sucks her energy out of this reality. And just like with Nani, my last dog that passed on, I super felt that. You can feel their souls leaves. And there's a progression of how this stuff works. So I'm going to ask God that we talk more about this next week if it is the healthiest and best for all of us, or on one of our other shows. But it'll probably be in this one because this is when it was brought up. So thank you, God, for that for us. So we can have some kind of order here in Saturn's Earth world, right? Thank you, God, for that for us in the best way, from love. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming. Had a great time. Thank you for everything. And we'll see you next Sunday night, 7:15 for our live talk forum, as well as we'll see you on Wednesday for our Right Thing show, how to do the right thing from love, right? That's all about that. Bring your questions. Don't understand something that happens in society or Earth World or need a solution for or with, whatever it is. Bring that to Wednesday's show, because that's all about learning and understanding and knowing how to do the right thing from love. And it could be different words, different people, different cultures, what's going on, anything and everything. Feel in your heart. Wisdom is here, and that's what that show is about. And all our shows are about wisdom. But that one's about doing the right thing from love and learning all about love energy and how it works so you can live your greatest life. All right. And then Friday night show is at 7:15 at 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive, where we do all kinds of cool shit in terms of medical or health stuff, right? Working on our health, how astrology relates to this, how our inside stuff relates to our outside stuff, as well as solutions, gifts, tools from love energy for your best health with anything you have going on with your health, whether it be mental health, physical health, or all health in any way, shape, or form for you, your pets, your family, whoever. The best gifts, tips, tools, solutions, and we do energy work in that show and in all of our shows as well, and to help us be our most well selves for us, right? Okay, that said, thank you guys for coming for tonight. I had a great time, many blessings, and thanks for your support, and love you guys. All right.